and normally the grocery stores would be flooded with the bright red ripe fruits. Ponchatoula, Louisiana normally holds its Strawberry Festival in early April, but this family favorite event was a casualty of the stay-at-home order. Luckily, we were able to get 2 flats of strawberries from Mrs. Heather's Strawberry Patch in Albany, Louisiana, about an hour north of New Orleans. We've had a blast making jam, scones, shortcake, and strawberry bread. Today, I will share a fast and easy dessert recipe with you that's great for using frozen strawberries. So whether you can pick them from the farm or buy them from the store, you're ready to make Boozy strawberry sorbet. Now it's time to assemble our recipe. This recipe calls for 2 cups of sliced frozen strawberries. I have 2 flats of fresh strawberries, so I need to stem them and cut them in order to make this recipe. I'm going to show you a couple of gadgets that I just love that will make this process so much easier and so much more fun. And your kids can get involved and do it for you. This is by Chefin. It's called a stem gem. This will take the stems out of your strawberries. It's very simple. You push the plunger, put it into the strawberry, twist, and like magic, the whole stem comes out and part of the core. Then, this is called the slicer. I have an older model of this. They have a new one coming out, but I love it and it's super fast. You put the strawberry into the slicer, push it down in, squeeze. It comes out like magic into little slices. This will make the process of 2 cups of strawberries, which is approximately a pint of strawberries, so much faster and easier. And your kids will love to use the stem gem and the slicer. I've already done this with my strawberries and I've frozen them overnight. This is 2 pounds of frozen strawberries. Now let's assemble the recipe. For this recipe, I'm going to use my Vitamix blender. Love my Vitamix blender. Wouldn't trade it for anything. If you have a Ninja, lots of people like those. If you have a simple blender, whatever sort of blender you have, whatever's going to quickly chop up your strawberries is what you're going to want to use. You will need a blender of some sort though. To do this recipe, you add a 1/2 cup of water. Next you add a 1/2 cup of liqueur. I'm using triple sec, it's what I had in my cupboard. If you have Cointreau, also an orange flavored liqueur, you could also use Chambord. You could use any sort of fresh, citrusy, berry flavored liquor that you have and put that into your recipe. Next we're going to use a 1/4 cup of sugar. Now our strawberries are a little tart, so I have added additional sugar. You could also use agave nectar, you could use honey, you could use simple syrup, anything that you have on hand. I'm using a 1/2 cup because like I said, my strawberries were a little tart today. Next you'll use the juice of 1 lime. I've run out of limes, haven't been to the store in a while, but I did happen to have some lime juice on hand. So we're going to use that into our recipe. Pour that into your mixture. And then you're going to pour 2 cups approximately of frozen strawberries into the blender. Put these in the blender and put the lid on. My blender has a setting for ice cream. Not every blender does. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to chop up the strawberries until they make almost a slush. Don't chop them too long or you'll have more of a daiquiri than sorbet. I turn this to the frozen, turn it on, and we'll be back when it's ready. So we've processed our strawberry mixture for just a couple of minutes. If you process it too long, you're just going to end up with strawberry soup. So as soon as those strawberries are blended, remove it from the blender. As you can see, it's still a little soft, and you may want it to be thicker. If you do, you can pour it into a airtight container and store it in your freezer. You can also store the leftovers that way. I am ready for my refreshing treat. So I'm going to put it in a cute little glass. I'm going to add a little bit of mint to the top for a garnish. And then I'm going to cut a slit in a beautiful strawberry and hang it on the rim. And now we're ready for our dessert. I left my sorbet in the freezer overnight, and now I'm ready to enjoy it. I normally like my sorbet a little slushier, but this is a great consistency for a hot summer day. During this crisis, we've seen store shelves empty, and at the same time seen on the news that farmers are dumping their crops. It didn't occur to me until just a little while ago that many of our local and smaller farmers supply restaurants and farm stands. Obviously, these are closed, and so their produce is going to rot on the vine. If you normally go and pick at a facility, why don't you call them, see if they have anything available? Stop at your local fruit stand or farm stand and pick up the local produce. Also, you can call your local farmers market. Many of them are not open, but our local farmers market has a farm box where they can put together a bunch of items that you would love to have, and it would all be local and fresh. Tonight, when you sit down to dinner, thank a farmer, and join us next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.